Epstein files suggest acts that may amount to crimes against humanity, says UN experts. And I'm sure you all know by now, he is mainly the guy that has to do with the DNA. Hence the reason why he focuses on the women and children, to groom for future outcomes and to create their own species. Now, if you type in United States crimes against humanity, you will get this. Key examples include the genocide of Native Americans from 1492 to the 1900s, slavery and accusations of anti-black violence. The United States Armed Forces have also faced allegations of war crimes such as torture and killing civilians. And as y'all can see, 96% of the population was wiped out. So I want y'all to think about it like this. I always told y'all the world wars is a war of different worlds. It's different realities they're trying to create by using us through manifestation by controlling our minds. So a war of different worlds began because they have access to the towers. Because we are electrical beings, this is how they're controlling our thoughts. And also how they created diseases in our frequencies, along with these viruses, which is really P sites, I'm gonna say, that runs around your body because they're living organisms that's 1 and 2-dimensional beings, and also we're 3-dimensional, so that's how they're able to live inside of us. So before the full mind control from the world wars and the towers being placed everywhere, right, they had to basically off us. As y'all can see, this is what I'm talking about right here, right before the War of Different Worlds, the quote-unquote civil wars, which is basically trying to eradicate all the original melanated beings on this realm. So basically, I'm trying to make a quick rundown on how the way this is basically biblical if you really understand what the Bible is talking about. We have all the wars that happened, the quote-unquote apocalypse, which has already happened because we already died. We are in the 4th world, meaning we already reincarnated after we died in the 3rd world, which is what they talk about in Revelations. And I keep telling y'all that they're literally repeating the same thing they did the last time because they won that war. We just don't remember. So basically, they start offing everybody and then save the women and children. Obviously, a select few because there's a small portion of them left. After there's enough people that they can control, right? This is when they implement the brainwashing, the world wars, after the civil wars. So now, since they have a brainwash, we're literally giving them consent to do anything to us, including changing DNA and making new species. Now, this is when the elites come into play. Quote unquote, Jeffrey Epstein's island. And I'm sure there's plenty more. I'm talking about countless places that's just like that, where essentially they're just experimenting on humans. And again, like I just said, this is biblical. This is literally what the Bible tells you, that they killed all the men, saved some of the women and children. This is how these motherfuckers have hundreds of wives, because wives isn't getting married. Getting married in our lifetime is getting married to the state. You're not getting married to your spouse, quote unquote spouse. Real marriage is you literally having a kid because that's the only thing that lasts forever. You're mixing 2 different energies and creating a whole nother one. And then as far as the brainwashing, this is all the spell casting, bro. The pharmakia, the words, bro. Because just think about it. We don't even need to speak. We can telepathically communicate. They created that language just so they could be the third party and fucking confuse us and deceive us, exactly what they're doing. But yeah, the whole point of the war in heaven, which is how we ended up here right now, is because they've been playing with our DNA. We are literal gods and we don't even know it or even want to accept it as a collective. They literally need us to live. They need us to manifest. They need us to feel. But that responsibility is just too much for most people. Although it'll make their whole life make a lot more sense on why they had to go through what they went through. Because they've been extracting our energy this whole time to create their realities. Hence the War of Different Worlds. Anyways, I hope y'all picked up what I put down. Y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be gods. Hey.